Every day is different. This is sort of the only job I've ever had as a young adult. Do you want like a longer story or a shorter one? I grew up in the Greenwich Village in Manhattan, and shortly after high school I moved to Brooklyn not too long after I started working as a bike messenger. I used to be overweight when I was younger, and I started cycling to get into better shape. And when I first started doing this, my parents were definitely freaked out about the idea. To put it simply, this sounds silly, but we pick things up and we bring them from point A to B. So we just pick things up and deliver them. Sometimes people, they'll like brag about the number of deliveries they do. An average number would be, I'd say, 15 to 20. Maybe around 20 to 30 miles is on the lower end. And there are some days where it's really crazy. We might have to ride like 60, maybe 70 miles, I don't know. And we do a lot of work for PR, where there's a new product. They'll have these large mailings. There's a certain rhythm to everything, and you can feel it when you're out in the city. It's almost like a river where you get in and you follow the current. The city is definitely almost organic. I think riding a bike in Manhattan is relatively safe, so long as you're experienced and you know how to approach certain situations in traffic. I know when I first started messengering, I used to get in a lot of accidents. I appreciate the fact that I get to see so much of the city when I'm at work. I'll catch myself sightseeing almost. Like I'll ride down the street, and if the light is hitting the Empire State Building just the right way, like I'll just ride down the street staring up at it. There's a certain level of freedom that you have when you're on a bike. The worst thing about this job is having to deal with the weather. So if it's nice out and it's sunny, I do feel like I have the best job in the city. On the other hand, when the weather's nasty and it's snowing or sleeting, the worst is cold rain by far. That's absolute misery for any bike messenger. I feel like I can be very in touch with what's happening in the city. Messengers definitely see the city in a way that somebody who would be working a different kind of job wouldn't. For a lot of people, it's one of the best parts of being a messenger is that you're in this community. I love cycling, I love riding my bike, and it's definitely a pleasure to be able to make a living doing that. If I weren't a bike messenger and I had the choice to do anything, I would definitely be a firefighter. My dream job's always been to work for the city, in the city, for the people in the city, so